Hello and welcome to my video. If you're new here, my husband, dog and I recently moved from Sydney to our 100-acre property in Tasmania. I hope you will join us as we discover the most beautiful parts of Tasmania, learn to live in a tiny house and a large property, and eventually start building our house. It's a lot of noises happening. Alright, so we've got some good news today. Today's the day we're moving the bus onto our land. So we're, as Luke said, literally moving the house. Moving house. What we need to do is tidy up and get anything that's on vertical surfaces that might shift around, anything that's on horizontal surfaces that might shift around, away. And then we'll need to lock up the doors. The cabinets, doors, the drawers, that sort of stuff. Anything that might topple over, lay it flat, and just generally tidy up because, whew, we're messy people. Let's go. Let's get started. Luke's already started, but let's keep going. This part took longer than we expected. There was just so much stuff out that needed to be put away. The night before we'd emptied the black water tank, so that was already done. And then we wanted to empty the grey water tank and fill up our fresh water tank while we still had the opportunity. This laundry basket's been in my way for a week or so glad to be putting that down under the bus. So right now we're pretty much ready to go. We just needed to clean up the yard a bit. There's some cardboard all over the place from the dogs. When we've got something in a box and not put it away in the bin soon enough, the dogs have attacked them and put them everywhere. Alright, you're in reverse. Got toffee in a shot. What we did was our friend whose house we were staying at and Luke went the long way around to our land so that he could arrive from the right direction. And I went the short way. So I was ready to film by the time they arrived on our driveway. So when we first arrived, this is how unlevel the bus was, and I always thought it'd be okay to be in an unlevel house. Surely it's not so bad. It was like I was on a moving ship. I cannot get sea legs when I'm on a ferry or something with some waves, like a rocking ship, and this is what it felt like for me. It really messed with my balance and equilibrium. We actually stayed one night with the bus like this because after we moved the bus, we needed to go to our friend's house. We'd been invited there, so one night, and what an interesting night that was. And then the next day was a bit rainy and what felt like stormy, but we had to get on with it because we didn't want to spend another night at such an angle. So we bought some thick wood and worked out that if we got one on top of the other, we should be fairly close to level. Luke cut them at a diagonal so we could drive up them. This took forever. I kept in a fair bit of the footage. Well, I actually kept in a very small amount of footage, but it feels like a lot of footage because it took ages for our wrong saws to go through the wood. It took us 2 goes to get onto the wooden sleepers properly, but we got there in the end. Unfortunately, the front sleeper was just a little bit too far back and we're right at the big front of it, but otherwise it's fine. It's not quite perfectly level, as you'll see later, but we'll be redoing this again and hopefully getting it perfectly soon. This will do until we can spend more time on it. And then the last thing we did was move our TV down because we realized that the TV was obscuring our view and we'd much rather look at the view than at the TV. So we moved it down by about 10 centimeters to gain about 10 centimeters worth of view. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. It really helps me out. I upload some Sundays with all sorts of weird and wonderful videos I find interesting, and I hope to see you then. Bye!